As the Boston Celtics gear up for this deep playoff run, there's some absolutely huge news relating to Jayson Tatum and Jrue Holiday as they have been selected for the Team USA basketball squad. 2 out of the 12 guys selected, and we're going to break down that, plus a bunch of more stuff revolving around Derrick White, possible extension, wanting to stay long-term in Boston, the Celtics ramping up for the playoffs with intense practices, and with Blake Griffin retiring, he could still have been with the Boston Celtics. We'll be breaking down all of that and more on this episode of Celtics Digest. I'm Bruce Veliz, but before we dive in on all this basketball news, I just want to say we're pushing for 4,000 subscribers here on Celtics Digest. We'd love to hit it by the end of the playoffs, so if you guys enjoy the content, hit that subscribe button and make sure to be ready for the streams this weekend. Saturday, we're going to be having a radio call-in stream where you guys can voice your opinions about our first round opponent once we find that out Friday night. And Sunday, we'll have a live watch-along as well for the playoffs. We did them all throughout the regular season, had a fantastic time during the G League turnout, so we'll be doing those for the playoffs. But without further ado, let's dive into the video at hand today. Make sure to grab a snack as it is going to be a jam-packed episode. And the first topic at hand today that we're going to be discussing is that Derrick White extension. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, it's already being brought up now. As we know, the Boston Celtics are pushing for a title this year, and they have a lot of salaries already wrapped up. Kristaps Porzingis has an extension for 3 more years after this season. Jrue Holiday just signed a 4-year extension with the Boston Celtics, which was a huge one, declining his player option, saving the Celtics a little bit of money in the spare time. Jaylen Brown signed his extension last year. That's going to be kicking in next season, and Jayson Tatum is due for his Supermax deal that he fully deserves after making all first team last year and probably making all first team this year. I believe so. No Jalen Brunson over Jayson Tatum in my eyes. But as we all know, Derrick White is that other piece to the nucleus for the Boston Celtics in that core starting 5. And his, deal for the Celtics is going to be necessary and be a lengthy one. He's been so exceptional for the Celtics on both sides of the ball, and Brad Stevens also agrees, saying that on extending Derrick White, that Derrick has had an amazing year. He's a huge part of our team, and we want him to be around for as long as possible. Now, Derrick White does have 1 year left still in his deal. He's not entering free agency after this season, but the year after that, he will be. So the Celtics have to work an extension either this year or this summer into this year or, next offseason as well, so that they can build upon that and get him locked up for the long term. But Derrick White, like we mentioned, has had a baller year for the Boston Celtics. Left off that top 100 was an absolute disrespect to the man who could be the Celtics starting point guard. 15 points, every category he went up. Points, rebounds, assists, as you guys can see, field goal percentage, 3-point percentage, free throw percentage, averaged a steal and a block, well deserving of being on the all-defensive first team. And I am going to riot if this man gets disrespected once again by the mass media. He definitely deserves it. People were calling for him to be an all-star. Did I think that he deserved it? Yes. Did I know that he was not going to get it? For sure. But my man, Derrick White, is a baller. He is a beast, and he's going to be a key contender for the Celtics' success in the long run. Derrick White also spoke out with Chris Forsberg today, saying that he wants to stay in Boston. He wants to stay long term. This is the place he wants to be. He feels appreciated. So I'm sure the Celtics will find a deal that's happy for him and happy for the franchise to get it done. Let me know what you think down below. Do you guys want to see Derrick White in Boston? Drop a shamrock down below if you guys believe that Derrick White should still be here. I'm going to be spamming those shamrocks alongside with you. But like I said, we got some more details to talk into, and the Celtics are ramping up for the playoffs. As we know, the play-in went down last night in the Western Conference. The East is taking on tonight, so we'll see who's going to match up versus the Knicks and who is possibly going to be the 8 seed. We'll have a more clear-cut understanding, a little bit easier understanding tonight, and that will be better for us Celtics fans getting into it. But yes, Heat Sixers at 7 o'clock. Bulls versus Hawks 9:30. The winner of the Bulls Hawks will play the loser of the Heat Sixers on Friday night. And like I said, the Celtics will play them on Sunday. But the Celtics, having this week off, are not taking it back. They're not being lazy. They are ramping it up. As Jrue Holiday spoke about how Joe Mazzulla asked him about the Bucks 2021 title run, saying that it's going to be hard and you're going to have to just adjust and be able to be ready and open-minded enough to adjust, and that's part of the sacrificing. But also mentioned how the Celtics We're watching tape of the 2008 championship this week. Shocked that the Celtics had 10 postseason losses. But if we want to look at Adam Himmelsbach, we can see that Jrue Holiday last week said of the Celtics week off before the playoffs, said that I'm pretty sure that during the time Joe's going to have us do some pretty crazy drills to get us all ready. Celtics told the media to arrive around 10:30 in the morning yesterday to do post-practice interviews, and it was 12:05, and they're still going, said Adam, who gave us an update still at 1:05 an hour later that the Celtics are still going, or they're just eating pizza down there and trolling us, LOL. But that is hilarious. That is funny to see because like Jrue Holiday said, they are gearing up. They're watching that play from that tape from that 2008 finals. When I saw a picture on Kristaps Porzingis' Instagram story, I did not post it here, but the TV in the team room is stationed at 0-0. This team is locked in. They're ready to go. And your coach, Joe Mazzulla, said today in practice that it was meant to be more a mentally tough practice than yesterday's big cardio workout. So exactly, they're working on both things, the mental toughness, the physical toughness, staying in shape, being ready to go, keep pushing and not slowing down. That's what we love to see out of this team, a team still pushing to be that obviously champion. They want to bring that banner home. Jayson Tatum, Jaylen Brown, they've worked so hard for their career in the Celtics. Kristaps Porzingis, Al Horford, Jrue Holiday, Derrick White have sacrificed so much for this team's success this year, and we are all pushing for a Celtics championship. Let me know what you guys think down below. I think this is absolutely fantastic that they're doing this. Joe is staying locked in regardless of who we're facing. Atlanta, Chicago, Philly, Miami. They want to be ready. They're going to be conditioned. They're going to be able to run this team out of the gym, and on Sunday, they're not going to show any excuses for the Boston Celtics. I'm ready to go. Who do you guys want to see? Like I mentioned, I want to see the Bulls come into the 8th seed or the Hawks, but out of the Sixers and the Heat, I'd rather see the Sixers. Last couple things to break down before we finish this off. Blake could have been back in Boston. Absolutely shocking. We broke this down a little bit of yesterday in our community post, kind of as Blake Griffin retired, if you guys do not know, had his 1 year with the Boston Celtics. Big fan of Blake Griffin from the Clippers, not to get sidetracked, was a huge fan of him over there. Always was rumored to come to Boston. We always wanted him here. I was always a big proponent of bring Blake here. Never found his way in the middle early on in his career. Found his way at the end, and there was some success. But Blake came out today and said, per Sam LaFrance, that he told Part of My Take, which he's very good friends with those guys over there, that he had a standing offer to return to the Celtics all season, saying, yeah, if I had to gone anywhere, I would have gone back to Boston. I love those guys. I'm pulling for them, and they've got a great shot to win the championship, which is absolutely fantastic to see. Basically saying that the Celtics had that offer. I know Derrick White and Payton Pritchard were on Part of My Take around the All-Star break, around February, and they mentioned this, talking about how they wanted Blake back. They wanted him to be back here in the locker room, to be that 15th guy, and I think he would have, but, towards the end of his career, wanted to be with his family. The injuries necessarily didn't see a green pasture being in Boston, which is A-okay. We wish the best for our guy, Blake Griffin, but that was something I just wanted to cover here before we got to the end of the video, because I thought that was very, very important to break down for the Boston Celtics. The next thing that we're going to be talking about as well is, I completely forgot to mention this in there as the description, but two guys made the USA men's national team for the Boston Celtics. Sorry, I don't have a chapter for this, but here we go. We're going to break it down. Jrue Holiday and Jayson Tatum have been elected for the 2024 USA men's national team. Yes, no Jaylen Brown, sadly, but the defender and Jrue Holiday will be ready to go. Lock down all those players, and Jayson Tatum is ecstatic. We want to look at this tweet from Noah Dalzell. Jayson Tatum says it's extremely special to be able to wear number 10 for the Team USA, the same number as his favorite player, Kobe Bryant. And I know there's going to be some clowns. I know there's people going to be trolling him, but if I'm going to be honest with you guys, if I were in the professional NBA Basketball Association, if I was good enough to play basketball in the NBA and they gave him the opportunity to wear any number I wanted or choose, I'm taking number 13 for my favorite player, Chris Paul, as well. I'm rocking him. I'm giving him my respect. I'm showing my kudos to my favorite player, the guy that inspired me to do it all and be a part of this team. You got to do it on the main stage, and it's absolutely fantastic for Jayson Tatum to do that. No corniness aside. I know that there's always the memes with Jayson Tatum surrounding Kobe Bryant, but this is absolutely fantastic for him, getting to be back in the Olympics like he was last time and just show out alongside his teammate Jrue Holiday. I'm expecting these two to be very, very key pieces to this Team USA's success, and It was very cool to see Grant Hill drop by, give them their jerseys at their doorstep. Jayson Tatum opened the door kind of funnily, like, yeah, he knew he was going to be there. Jrue Holiday was shocked that he was getting it delivered by Grant Hill. His wife didn't tell him that he was getting the jersey drop-off, so that was really cool. If you guys missed that, check that video out on Twitter. I did not post it in here. But like I mentioned, the last thing that we're going to be commenting, sorry that I had no other chapter for this, but it is the comment of the day. Like I mentioned, drop your comments down below on all the topics. We talked about a plethora of stuff, from Derrick White extension to the Celtics ramping up the playoffs, to Blake Griffin having a standing offer if he didn't retire to come back to the Boston Celtics, and discussing the Team USA and how this is huge for the Boston Celtics, that guys like Jayson Tatum, Jrue Holiday are going to be stepping up, playing for Team USA, getting to show their pride and colors for their country, but also being great representations of the Boston Celtics and putting on the map that these two guys are still key integral pieces for success in the NBA, and it's great that the Boston Celtics have them. But like I mentioned, drop your comment down below on either all four of those topics so you guys can be picked, so you can be the lucky person mentioned here for comment of the day. But like I mentioned, we have our comment of the day from one of our faithful subscribers here, Emmanuel Tavares 353, saying Celtics just need to win the title this year. It's all I'm thinking about. And I totally agree with you, Emmanuel, here. We need this title. This is what we want. And we're going to get to see our first, real dose of it tonight with the Eastern play-in tournament. We get to see the Miami Heat and the Philadelphia 76ers take off tonight and get to kind of evaluate their strengths, their weaknesses, what we can use to abuse them. And if we, don't get to see either of those and we get to see the Bulls or the Hawks, then we get to see what they can do in their play-in game. I think it's great for the Boston Celtics to see some teasers. You already know Joe Mazzulla, the coaching staff, all the players are going to be locked in on these games tonight, looking at the weaknesses, looking at the strengths, looking at what they can do to dominate, and they're going to be applying those to practices as they prepare for these two teams. But like I mentioned, the Celtics are going for this deep playoff push, and we're going to be having the content to provide it for you guys. So if you guys enjoyed any of this content, hit the like button, hit that subscribe button, so you make sure you stay up to date on the Celtics daily content here on Celtics Digest, as we provide it for you all throughout the playoffs and through the off season, as the Celtics are pushing for banner 18. Like I mentioned, we're going to be doing these live watch alongs. I thought it was going to be a little crazy getting down to it, but how the schedule works out is we will be live for every single first round matchup. I guarantee you that. I guarantee you for most of the playoffs, we will be live for every single game, unless I have a prior, already planned thing to do. We will be live, ready to go for all these games. So make sure you stay tuned. Make sure you hit that subscribe button. Make sure you guys are locked into Celtics Digest so you can get all that up to date. Join the Discord link. Hit the Twitter link down below to stay up to date on other Celtics news for stuff that we don't post in the community page. And like I mentioned, I'll catch you guys in the streams on Saturday and Sunday. Make sure to stay tuned. We'll catch you there. Can't wait to see you there. Have a great rest of your day. Go Boston Celtics. Peace out from Bruce Veliz.